following stream contains mature language and themes. Subjects that may be disturbing to some individuals will arise. Viewer discretion is advised. Good evening and welcome to the Onyx Path Twitch channel. I hope all the audio is working well and no other technical difficulties are occurring. So to begin with, it's the dog days of summer and there is a huge sale running at Indie Press Revolution. Go check it out. Lots of stuff on sale that's Onyx Path related. Go take a look at that. And Weeks in the Deep. Kickstarter's going. I mean, last check, they had like double or triple. Okay. 39,000 on a $15,000 goal with 9 stretch goals unlocked. So that's great. The Kickstarter ends on August 12th, so hop in on it, and hopefully we'll be running a Squeaks in the Deep here on the Chronicles group sometime in the future. So looking forward to that. On Friday, some of us will be playing over on Lawful Stupid RPG in a one-shot. I'm going to run a D&D game, which I haven't done for ages. It's been a while. Yeah, I'm going to roll something other than a D10.
Blasphemy.
That's right. So, and I'm going to try and remember what it is that warlocks always do. But anyway, it'll come back to me.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh yeah, Eldritch Blast. That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
I was going to say something else more sexy, but you know that
hide
too.
in the back and let everybody else die. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's like, fuck their Patreon. I think that's all
right. Am I missing any announcements? Is there anything? I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. So we're down one player this evening, unfortunately. Moira wasn't able to make it tonight, so I promised not to kill off her character too quickly, so we will do our best. Where we left off last week, however, Caleb and Lady Amethyst were having a brief conversation, and Caleb was about to head out to meet his brother and discuss the demands of him to show up. I believe the terms were bare-ass naked on a silver platter.
Oh, yeah. Are we serving up Caleb?
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
Well, Caleb, we'll start with you. Minnie, you were still in the tavern, and I believe Emilio was hanging out there as well. So I'm not going to limit you guys. Are you going to go with Caleb, or are you going to let him go off on his own?
What were we doing? My thought point was Emilio kind of in bed with like a blanket over him, smoking a cigarette. Like,
well, Violetta was a little disappointed in you recently in your recent behaviors, but you know, And the
What?
last, and I do believe that there is a dying or dead Captain Miller who was in your
Oh,
bed.
geez. Yeah, this is especially awkward.
Oh,
And
I
It's
thought
and
we bandaged his head.
yeah. I feel like we did our best. So it's a twin size, and all three of us are in it.
All he had was a concussion.
All we had
it
was,
was
a
a bad
concussion.
concussion.
Yeah.
All he had was a concussion. He was
Well,
bleeding
listen.
everywhere and unconscious, but it was just a concussion. Everything will be okay.
He's
I
at
mean,
worst in the coma.
I think before I was 13, I had 8 concussions, and it worked out okay for me. So.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the train wreck. This is the Wyrd West.
About to get weird.
About to get weird.
So correctly, because I had to bop out earlier. Minnie,
You had
and
opened
Emilio.
the bottle of Miller had brought you a very expensive
yeah.
bottle of alcoholic beverage that you had opened, and you and Minnie were having a drink. I think is the last thing that's going on.
Okay. Oh. Okay. All right. So pretend to be drunk.
What you don't realize is that was normal Emilio. When he's drunk, he seems like a stone cold sober person to everyone else. So
Yeah.
he's actually the safest man in a car when he's drunk. But unfortunately, there are no cars in the Wild West. So
Not yet, and not with that attitude. Minnie. First off, this is pretty good. I know I'm not really savoring this alcohol as I should be, but I'm a man of, I guess, quick appetite. When there's something that I want, I engulf it, and it's hard for me to savor it. The desire and want is so great.
Are we
How's
still
your day?
talking about alcohol?
I don't know.
Because that seemed a little deeper than alcohol.
I mean, I think it's a quiet reflection of my own life.
Well, you haven't told me very much about your life outside of here.
I grew up in Pueblo, Mexico. My parents were ranchers. Had cows as well. We in a nice little farm in between mountains. It was almost like we were in our own little world. You couldn't really see past the mountains and valleys surrounding us. But I know if you took about 30 minutes on a horse, you went in between that mountains, you'd find a beautiful city and historic relics from a bygone era. I think that's what initially had me thirsty for knowledge. Regardless, I experimented in my youth. Man, woman, everything else. I was passionate. I wanted so much. I wanted to topple governments. But I think after a couple of years, you just get tired. Lost some friends, lost some love. You begin to hate the color of red when you see it stained on your fingernails. Almost wish you could get a pliers to pull out the fingernails themselves. At least your own blood would be caked on your hands instead of someone else's.
I mean, we all make mistakes when we're young. It happens, but the best way to turn it around is to learn from it and move on.
I didn't make a mistake. It's the overarching green light across the river, right? You gaze upon it each and every day. You get no closer to it. The waves beating back against you, beat by beat. No matter how strong of a swimmer you are, you just end up on the shoreline. I think that's why I found it so difficult to love you. Is allowing myself the the opportunity, or really life, the opportunity to see those blood-caked hands again, to see everything that you ever loved kind of break in front of you. You know, that truly somber feeling when your heart feels like it's about to be crushed.
Well, if oh, well, do you want to pass some of that alcohol?
Yeah, sure.
Is it a glass or is it a bottle?
Yeah, this.
She hits it in one shot. Well, I wasn't entirely certain that you felt that strongly about me. But I would never I would never crush your heart or anything like that.
I know you wouldn't. It's not you that I fear. It's everything else around us. You know, it's that lingering thought of that beautiful farm in between the mountains. You know, the sun kind of slowly going over the hills and treetops. You can hear the horses neigh, and you hope and pray that this is it. It's beautiful and it's yours. And then the government comes in, speaking about taxes, and already a huge burden upon the land of a starving and struggling family. And then that valley isn't yours any longer. And you find yourselves in a hovel on bended knee trying to get enough money for your family to live throughout a day. I think the most beautiful and horrific of things happen when you're on your knees.
Well, I would never allow that to happen to you. I don't understand everything that you've been through, but I took the worst and
It's
I
not
made
up.
it into a business.
It's not up to us, though, Minnie. This is the strings, the theater, everything around us. We are just actors in a theater production, and we play our parts, and sometimes we improvise, but in the end we don't get to dictate when our lines are over, and we give that final curtain call.
My show ain't over, and neither is yours. And if
If-
some government comes in here and tries to put me on my knees unless they paying, not in Minnie's Tavern. Mm-mm.
I almost died like 2 weeks ago, right?
I'm a damn good shot, Emilio. A damn good shot.
And I'm a vulnerable, sensitive, passionate man.
Then I
think
suppose
was-
I suppose I'll just have to be your shield. Ain't nobody getting through Minnie.
There is a God out there. I think. I don't know. I think it could be you.
But I'm not quite that good of a shot, darling, but not quite that good of a shot. But I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
More importantly,
sorry. I'm sorry for
Violetta.
what you went through. Nothing's getting to Violetta either.
If you had to choose, though, make sure you take care of Violetta, yeah?
I got 2 hands, I can hold 2 guns. I got 2 eyes, I can aim both ways.
Minnie, I need you to promise me, eye to eye, that no matter what happens to me, that you'll take care of Violetta and you'll try to be happy.
I won't let anything happen to her either. I adore her. She's a sweet child. She's intelligent.
She's amazing. I hope one day I get to father my own kids, but she's everything and more.
Well, it could still happen.
If the world's still here within like a day or two, and I
I
don't
ain't
know.
dried up shoe leather yet.
I'm sorry, I'm being a downer of some sort. And what we have to serve up our cattle rancher as a offering, naked and vulnerable to some extraterrestrials.
You just cannot understand how excited I am to get that man naked and on a platter.
I mean, I agree with you. I think, yeah, this town has a lot of attractive people. I think per capita than most Western towns.
Now hold on. You said the L word to me, and you talking about all these other attractive people. Am I gonna have to worry about you stepping out on me? Like I said, I have really good aim.
No. I am dedicated day and night.
And you know I own the saloon. I don't have a lot of girls. I'm gonna have to still work some, even though I will try to stay behind the counter as much as possible. But
Oh, you do whatever you need to do, as long as at night that precious heart of yours is something that I can share.
well, it sure as hell don't belong to nobody else. So let's go put him on a platter and serve him up to whoever it is that's wanting him.
Yep. I mean, I do have some Spanish books concerning the Kama Sutra and something like that. So I don't know if the aliens are interested in him being presented in a more sexual way, or maybe it's kind of the metaphor of like a baby coming out and all wet and such, kind of like the beginning of life.
Well, they already probed him a good couple of times. I'm leaning towards the other one myself.
Right. Then I'll get the books and pictures, and I guess we'll see what we can do with this McCarty.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Should I get the rope? I mean, is he going to go willingly?
Well, I mean, he has to go willingly, right? And I mean, all of this, yeah, we'll have to. And I'm sure he can be convinced if it's to protect someone he loves
At
and the
this
people he
point,
loves.
Violetta's going to open the door the rest of the way. She's been standing in the hallway listening to this entire conversation. I'm going to go. First off, I believe it's his brother that has requested his presence.
Hi, darling.
Yeah, how long were you at that door, Violetta? Okay, you were there long enough.
Yeah, a good 10 minutes, maybe.
Well, I just want you to know that I will take care of you as much as I will your father. I won't let anything happen to either one of you.
Okay. I really don't know that I need looking after like that. Are you two drunk?
He is. Mine hasn't quite hit yet. Give me about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But she already knows. You might as well be honest with her. They don't like it when you lie to them.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not as obviously that I have an attraction, a huge attraction to Lady Moro. Yeah, Violetta, if you can give me like 1 minute, then we'll be out and we can be on our way and I guess prepare Caleb for his brother.
Violetta will close the door and pull it all the way to you. Hear it click as it closes. And she heads downstairs and tells Caleb and Lady Amethyst that they're coming down. And at that point, Lady Amethyst is going to suggest that she stays with Violetta at the tavern for safety, since there's so many soldiers out there.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Since you're Minnie,
Well, Mr. McCarty, are you ready to go see your brother?
I certainly am, and I have a few things to say to him.
I'm gonna need you to get naked now. I know it's not typically your thing, but it is what he requested on a silver platter.
Miss Morrow, I am not getting naked on my brother's say-so.
Well, do you want the end of the world? Because apparently it's the end of the world if you don't. That's pretty selfish of you, if you ask me.
Listen.
That you're not willing to do something like that for the safety of everyone else, Lady Amethyst, me, Emilio, Mr.
How
Will.
about I go talk to him before I start stripping nude in public? Now,
But he said he wanted you to go naked on a platter.
Lady Amethyst sticks her head around the top of the stairs and says, "I left the platter on the end of the bar," and then goes back the other way.
Why do we have a platter of that size?
Well, sometimes we have to do large serving, and sometimes people have odd requests, and we don't judge as long as they got coin.
Tam, I've never done this, so how does regaining willpower through your virtues or vices work?
If you do an action that is based upon your virtue or vice, generally, if it places yourself or others in danger when you do it.
So if I were to show up clothed because my vice is pride, would I get willpower back?
Possibly, it depends on the situation, but that would be a good thing to bring up at the time.
All right.
Because,
I feel like we're gonna have to get Silk involved.
That could put people in danger. That's a good point. Well thought. Well thought. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said, Mitch.
Oh, I was just saying, I think we're going to get Silk involved to get Caleb.
Yeah, they're a little busy on the other side. I want to get back to them, but I'm trying to get you guys out of the damn tavern.
Get naked and get on the platter and let's get going.
Listen, Caleb looks down at himself, and I will remind everyone at this time that Caleb is about 6'6".
Oh, hell.
I don't know where you've got a platter big enough to hold me.
It's on the counter. Go look at it. It's right there to hold your ass. Like I said, people got odd requests around here. We don't judge.
We've been prepared for this.
Are you going to condemn the entire world to death because you're scared we're going to laugh at your pee-pee?
Do you think my brother has the power to condemn the world to death?
Well, I didn't right up until giant balls fell out of the damn sky. Now I'm kind of liable to believe just about anything. Strip.
Let's bring the platter. We bring Caleb, and then we see what it takes when we get there.
If I get shot, because he's scared of a little skin.
Listen, I may not know what's gotten into him, but I know my brother, and I'm going to go talk some sense into him, whatever it takes. Now, I'm going to make sure the town doesn't pay for whatever's going on. But I am not stripping naked just because Isaiah thinks he's got some kind of hold over me.
Well, I'm sorry we're all going to have to die for your tiny pee-pee. It was a pleasure.
I'm not even going to address that, Miss Morrow. Good evening. And he goes out and he gets on his horse and rides off.
Okay, all right, hold on. We're coming to. Grab the plate.
I got the platter.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So I'll assume you guys get your horses set and you head out after Caleb headed back towards the Swede's farm. Meanwhile, up at the old mine, the last thing that had happened was Lenny and Bruce had come running down the hillside, jumped over the mine and landed in front of you, kind of very terrified looking. Definitely didn't superhero stick the landing on this one. And looked up and said, "That ball's grown legs."
What?
All right. Well, first things first. That bird snake thing is going to cause us more trouble. That ball we can deal with later. For now, In the mine, boys. In the mine.
And Bull, as they turn to run into the mine, Bull grabs both of them by the collar and don't be going in the mine now. And about that time, you hear the sound of footsteps, but it's kind of an odd sound. There's a bit mixed with the sound of a bellows, kind of that mechanical creaking type of noise, followed by a loud thump. And in the moonlight, you can see in the distance this giant spherical object, roughly 25 feet in diameter, with 40-foot long, spindly legs, 3 of them, as it begins walking its way down the side of the mountain towards you. Meanwhile, we're back at the bird snake's turn. And it is going to take its tail and lash out at the nearest thing to it, which at this point I'm going to say is probably Private Lenny. So let's see how he does here. I'm beginning to like these Kraken dice. That is a dramatic success. So he is going to whip a wing with clawed wing over, and he decapitates Lenny. Leaving basically Bull's here, standing here, holding a soldier in each hand. One of them's a little lighter now, as all he's got's the collar. And Silk? Oh, we passed Silk, I'm sorry. It would have been Lenny's go at this point, but I think he's now out of the initiative order. And Bull looks at it and takes Lenny's body and just slings it like a club at the bird snake's head. Let's roll a brawl for him. Do I get a weapon bonus for him, using him as a weapon? I don't know. And he is going to hit him, and it hits him and knocks a few feathers loose and kind of moves him off to the side, and Bull lets go of the body so that weight and inertia continues to go with him. So for the moment, the bird snake, what do we want to call him? Snake bird? Bird snake? Chimera?
I believe he called himself Death.
Yeah, that's true. He called himself Death. So Death is somewhat indisposed at the moment, and that brings us around to the marshal. By the way, he is still held by Silk's plants that came up and grabbed him. So,
in spite of my better judgment and the advice of Bull, I'm still thinking that dynamite in the mine is going to be helpful to me. And with that ball running across the top of the mine, while I am concerned about some cave-ins, Death has made it very clear that he ain't going to go down, not without any kind of fight. So I'm heading in that mine.
all right. What is your movement rate?
That's going to be a speed of 10.
Right, so that's 10 yards, so 30 feet. So that's going to get you inside the doorway a little bit. Okay. You don't know where the dynamite is within the mine. You don't know how far down it would be stored.
That's right.
So I'm going to put you a little bit inside the doorway, and if you're just going to run, then we'll just pass your turn till the next time and come back to it. when you enter the mine, the first thing that you notice is a blast of this oppressive heat. I mean, it's like something is exhaling just this fiery, hellish air. And Bonnie was talking to Silk. Silk was trying to do some healing work on Bonnie at the moment. So Bonnie looks slightly better, and she turns and, Bull, is there a wellspring in that mine? Well, yes. And she puts her arm on Silk and says, get me into the mine. Okay. I was gonna see if Silk said anything, but I guess not.
I was gonna. I
No,
don't
it's fine.
know if I have to wait for my turn or.
Well, no, you can always reply. You know, it's.
I mean,
there's
she
not-
would. She would nod to her and allow her arm to go around her shoulder. If my is my horse nearby?
Actually, you had your horse with you, so yes, your horse
Yeah.
would be nearby.
Okay, sweet.
Right. Bruce is being held by Bull. He is a little bit astonished by the fact his friend just got decapitated and then used as a club to fight some kind of a bird snake creature. Meanwhile, the ball is bearing down from the top of the hill. And Jersey, seeing what's going on with everything else and seeing the condition of Bonnie and that Silk is trying to help Bonnie, Jersey is going to run over and, Ma, you need help with something?
Boy, you should be focused on fighting, but while you're here, and she will almost kind of give Bonnie to him. Put her on my horse, will you?
Right. And he will endeavor to assist with that. We are now back up to the top of the initiative order, which is Silk.
Okay. Now that she's on the horse, what I'm going to do is I'm then going to hop on my horse as well. With Bonnie, I assume either in front or behind me, laid on it. And then I'm going to say to the marshal, fight strong, I will be back. And I will then ride off towards the mines.
Well, Marshall ran into the mine, so.
Oh, my mistake. Bye, everyone else. No, I'll say the same, but to Bull and Jersey, and then I'll head off towards the mines as well.
Right. With this, death spreads its wings and inhales a deep breath.
You better not.
I will feast on all of you, and you will burn. And then his sound is cut off. All sound in the area is cut off as this horrible noise rings out. Something like you've never heard before. It's as though someone were taking the fingers of 1,000 people and scratching them down a chalkboard at the same time. The air around you glows and becomes oppressively hot. And death disappears in a burst of flames. And you realize there's a red focused beam coming from the center of the giant walking ball that is just vaporized death.
Everyone in the mines.
Bull at this point is standing there, right in front of this, looks over and sees what has happened, hears Silk say, everyone into the mine, and he just picks Bruce up, puts him over his shoulder, and hauls butt towards the mine. So I'm going to put us temporarily out of initiative because I believe everyone has run their ass into the mine at this point.
Yeah.
You still hear the footsteps approaching, that same creaky, bellowing noise
Once
as
I'm
it
in
gets
the
louder.
once I'm in the mine, I'm gonna give Bonnie to one of the boys again.
Okay.
Say to bring her to the was it the well? Did you say
Wellspring.
the wellspring? And while that happens, is there any are there any men around that are alive?
There was the person who was with the marshal. There were two men who were with him. One
Are
of
they
them
alive?
was shot dead. The other one was hiding in the woods because of death. I mean, who the hell wouldn't?
Yeah.
When everyone else ran for the mine, he takes off for the mine. He's the last one in. So he
Okay.
kind of comes stumbling in the door at the open.
I grab
mine.
him when he comes in, and I just say, "This could be your last moments alive. Do you want to have some fun?" And she is like, to explain her expression, she looks hungry, like she's drooling at the sides of her mouth. Like she looks like someone who has just seen food walk into a room and they
Okay,
are on an
now
empty
I got to
stomach.
roll that a little bit differently because I was looking at it a slightly different way. He looks at you and he goes, to make sure I understand this man, walking giant steel ball shooting death
Does he have a
rays.
tie? Does he have a tie or anything like that?
Of course, yes, he does.
I grab him by the tie and just lead him around a corner.
Okay, there is a little offshoot there from the mine.
Before
Very
he can
good.
finish his sentence, she like takes off her top, and hopefully he will not protest anymore.
I
I need glamour, Tam. I need glamour, Tam.
Yes. Mr. Wells is all yours.
All right, I had one glamour left, and I did not want to reach 0. How do I harvest?
You have to. If I remember correctly,
I know what I have to do. I'm saying like when it's finished, when that's done. What do I roll?
Dadgummit. I've got to look it up because you've got me so discombobulated. It should be on your page what you have to do to pull the glamour in. It's written down on there somewhere.
Relevant attribute and skill. So
relevant attribute, considering what you're doing.
Is it strength, stamina?
I was thinking dexterity,
maybe?
maybe?
Athletics, stamina, athletics.
Should we say dexterity and
close combat,
seduction?
charisma?
What was close combat? Dexterity and what, Silk?
Dexterity and socialize with seduction is my specialty.
Sure, that sounds incredibly apropos.
Animal kin.
And resolve.
She's practicing animal husbandry, yes.
Take charming.
That's 2 successes, so that's 2 glamour back.
All right, 2 glamour points.
This time I'll try and go for a round 2.
I see it. I've got it. There's a comment in the chat. I wasn't expecting that. Neither was I. So, all right, Marshall. We were a little bit out of initiative, but you were the one taking the main action to begin with. You were running down into the mine. Everybody else has entered the mine behind you. I think you would realize that. But if you are continuing to move at speed and you're running, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, before I make that decision, I'm assuming with the loudness of that sound, I might have had a chance to turn back and see them get vaporized.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about what Silk was up to.
No, that's all right. I don't need to know about that. As a matter of fact, seeing death has been reduced to atoms, I'm gonna one, comment as much to myself as out loud that I need to get my hands on that because clearly this 6-gun is not cutting it. But also, with the rumbling and the massive ball stomping around, I'm getting it in my head that I ought to check on the state of the mine and see whether or not this is going to come down in on us and whether or not there's any wooden beams to help support the ceiling a bit more.
Okay. If you were going to take a moment to do that and really inspect it, let's give it an intelligence investigation.
Oh, well, I got something in that.
I thought you might, Marshall.
I got 2, so.
All right. So it actually, you can see a lot of the timber in here has been replaced. So whatever Bull's been doing, he's shorted up from what it was before. You can also see where the hoses continue running down into the mine, and you hear some odd noises coming from down that direction. And that hot wind that you were getting hit with has changed. It got really intense for a moment, and now it's almost like an Arctic blast. Freezing cold air blowing out of the base of the mine.
And I know Silk had sent at least one of them boys down there with. Is either Jersey or Bull still around?
Jersey is helping Bonnie.
Yeah.
Bull has Bruce over his shoulder.
Right.
Silk has the gentleman from town.
Yes. He's in good hands, I trust. Bull.
Well, he's in hands.
Bull, I hate to bother you, but I think you ought to set the man down. He's inside and he's safe now, but you boys are running that pump, and I'm feeling some strange wind from down there. Is that something that we ought to keep pumping, or?
Well, Marshall, I think you're misunderstanding the way the technology works there. We weren't pumping something in there. The pumps go to the suit.
Oh. Well, then, suppose I didn't understand.
Well, when it gets really hot down in the mine, we put the end of the pump into the water and pump the cold water through. It helps cool me down while I'm working. When it gets
what
cold.
Exactly?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go on, Bull. I don't mean to interrupt you.
When it gets cold, Jersey lights the fire underneath it, and he pumps the hot water down in. And that helps warm me up.
Well, I guess what I mean to say is just how worried that we got to be. We got some townsfolk here, and the fellow you brought in, I know he wants to be safe too. We can't exactly head out the front right now on account of the giant ball, but do you expect something's going to come up at us?
Well, Marshall, I'd say in my experience with this mine, having been here for a little while, what we got down there is kind of a passageway. And that passageway, you know how you got a door on the front of your house? And if you were to take that door from the front of your house, move it around to, say, the front of your neighbor's house, the door wouldn't go to your house anymore. It'd go to your neighbor's house.
Sure.
And then if you were to take your door from your neighbor's house and move it back and put it in front of your house, The door wouldn't go to your neighbor's house anymore. The door would go back to your house.
Yeah, I understand
Yeah.
that.
Just like that.
Right. So in this case, my house and my neighbor's house would be what exactly?
Well, houses, I hope.
Well, sure, but I mean, in this case, see, you got a doorway that's moving. I understand that part between someplace hot and someplace cold. I'd reason, but where exactly are these places?
Well, sometimes if you go somewhere, that place can be really, really hot.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I gathered that much.
if you wait long enough and the time passes and the weather changes, sometimes it'll get really, really cold. And then it changes again and gets really, really hot again.
Sure. Say, you know what? Why don't we just shelve that discussion for now? You didn't happen to see any dynamite while you was going through here, did you?
Dynamite. You mean the little sticks of nitroglycerin?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we found some of that, but we kind of have to hide it from Ma. She kind of has a problem. We've been trying to help her with it. I started this, I called it a 12-step program. The first step was isolation. The second was captivity. We didn't get much past that because Ma's pretty good at getting out of the captivity side of it. And from the sounds I've been hearing, she's not isolated any longer.
Well, I don't think so. Well, we'll just put a pin in that then. But just for curiosity's sake, so I can make sure she don't get to it, where is it?
Well, um, let's walk on down in a little ways, Marshall. But
Just for fear of her hearing, I don't think she will over all that, but sure.
I'd like to warn you though, don't take too good a look around, and if I tell you to close your eyes, please keep your eyes closed. Because there was this other fella down here, and I think he came through one of the doorways. I'm not sure if it was from your house or your neighbor's house, if you get what I mean, but he came from one of the houses, I presume. And he seemed a little unsettled. He kept talking about some kind of plants and had a specific thing about a plant called sage. And he continually, I couldn't get the digging tools out of his hand. So I took him up and took him up to our friends up on the mesa. They were going to see what they could do to help him.
Right. Well, I think I'll take you at your word and listen to your advice. Just I guess lead the way. I suppose Silk will be just fine. Sounds like anyway.
I don't think we have to worry about her. I'm just a little concerned about what do you know about that gentleman that she has decided to commingle and entertain with?
What do I know about this gentleman?
You knew a few of the town people, so you're fairly familiar with this guy. one of the interesting things about him is his last name is also Wells. No relation to you, however. His family comes from way back east. Actually, so far east, they come from over the big pond. Yeah, his name's Oliver, Mr. Oliver Wells. He runs the local paper. He's a writer.
Oh,
Says it runs in his family. There's his brother does a lot of writing as well.
Well, I can tell you he's got a good, strong name, and he does a lot of writing, like them fancy folks do, and I guess he keeps us all pretty well informed, about as much as he could.
Well, I guess in the best case, so maybe we'll end up with a bunch of ink blots. Or we could end up with a lot of, oh no.
Well,
Oh,
wait, what are you-
nothing to worry about now, Marshall. Do you have a match?
yeah, well, I keep a box on me, sure.
Okay, might be a good thing to have a little bit later. You don't have an affinity for paper dolls by any chance, do you?
I mean, who? No, of course not.
Now, don't let me distract you. Let's go find your dynamite.
I'll keep it
Jersey.
tucked away.
Jersey, you make sure Ma stays up here and out of trouble. All right, Jersey. All right.
Suppose I'm just following Bull then.
All right. He will take you down, and you're going to end up walking for a little while. A few twists and turns, but you can see the work he has done. The weather, it's getting colder and colder as you get deeper into the mine.
Geez, you weren't kidding about it getting cold.
Sorry about that. I've got a fur coat. I didn't much think about what you'd need.
Oh, no, it ain't your fault.
If you'd like, I can put my arms around you and share some body heat and try to keep you warm.
You know what? We'll keep that in mind, but for now, we're good.
All right. So while you guys are making your way down, I'm going to go back to Silk, who's got a question.
Can it be safe to assume that maybe there was a round 2 that I could roll for?
Let me check Mr. Wells' stamina here.
All right, thank you.
Good idea.
He is just a mere NPC mortal in all this, you know.
Ah, come on.
Well, you know what they say, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. But
No! Damn it! And there's no one else. Dang
he
it.
is, however, speaking with you and talking about a future and how important you are to him and how special and how enamored he has become with you, that you are the most amazing young woman he has ever met.
What's up with these men and their emotions?
Okay, I'm gonna... Do you have any alcohol?
Oh, I do. I have a flask I keep here purely for medicinal purposes, of
Oh,
course.
down it.
All right.
And then I'm gonna be and then I'm gonna basically while he's talking about his feelings, I'm gonna get up and just try and almost keep watch for this giant ball on legs that's outside.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye out.
All right. Do me a favor and roll me a d10.
10.
Excellent. You're actually feeling okay from all this, you know. Not like you usually do. You know, normally by this point you're beginning to feel like you've put on a little bit of weight.
Oh, okay.
But at the moment, you're not feeling that way. You do hear movement outside of the mine, and I'm going to say you're probably a good 10, 20 feet in. Let's say 20 feet in from it. The moonlight's out there. You can see quite a bit, and you see as one of this, like a large spike comes down right in front of the doorway of the mine and then moves off, kind of like somebody had stepped a foot.
So it's like it's stepped over it.
It's put its foot down right in the mine, in front of the mine, and it's walking around. And it sounds like it's kind of walking around the area looking for something.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I will keep an eye. I will just keep lookout for anything that happens.
Right? Very good. I'm going to put you guys on hold then and go back to the party, the bare naked party.
Oh, can we be called the Bare Naked Men?
And we'll say it's been long enough for you to make your way back to the farm. You see that the army has set up. They have piled bags and things filled with dirt. They have mounted some large guns. You recognize them, Caleb. You've heard of them in stories. You see a couple of Gatling guns. So they've got those set up, one facing towards the ranch and one facing the opposite direction towards the mesa. And there's an officer moving around, barking orders.
Do I see this ball with legs?
You can't see the ball. It was over by the shed where you guys had left it.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop by one of those officers.
All right.
Where's the ball?
McCarty, isn't it? Well, the
That's
ball.
right.
How do you know about the ball?
It's got my brother in it. He said he wanted to see.
Oh. Well, you do realize you're supposed to be bare-ass naked and on a silver platter.
I know that. Listen, if your brother told you to get bare-ass naked and on a silver platter, would you do it?
I don't have a brother. I got 3 sisters. And if you think that would be the least of things they have put me through as the younger brother, I got another thing for you. But we ain't going to talk about that here in front of the men.
I have 3 older sisters in real life, and I sympathize with this man out of character.
The hand-me-downs are the worst, right? Sorry. Anyway.
Well, listen, which way did it go? Because I reckon if he wants to see me, I'm your best chance at diffusing this situation. That's the right word, right?
Well, sir, the ball is still over there behind the shed, and last I knew, he was still standing on top of it.
Over behind the shed.
We've had a mix. We've had a few converts to his side who are at present putting together sacrifices and collecting gifts to lay at his feet.
This is Isaiah McCarty.
That's the name he gave.
All right. Well, if I can get through here, I'd like to go see for myself.
Well, sir, my instructions were to secure this piece of land against any and all threats and then expand out to protect the town. As I see the threat is in that location, in that direction, I'm more than happy with you to go that way, but I must let you know if anything bad happens, I cannot ensure your safety.
Well, that'll be fine. Thank you very much.
And he's going to look over at a mini and I see you brought your own platter anyway. I mean, if you're feeling a little embarrassed, there is a little place up there where you could remove your clothing.
Concern
but-
it, I am not getting on any platter until I have a conversation with this man who claims to be my brother.
He's nervous about his tiny pee-pee.
I am not nervous about anything. I just have dignity.
I mean, to be honest, the kind of the way that Americans, especially out in the West, deal with their own masculinity creates a lot of insecurities as they're growing up. And so this is kind of normal behavior to kind of feel defensive
Bill.
on that. And despite what?
He's talking to his horse and he spurs his horse forward.
Oh, okay. And he's off. Does anyone else? All right.
Ma'am.
Off.
Ma'am, we cannot ensure your safety if you continue on that way. If you'd like, you could leave your platter with your gentleman friend here, and he could go ahead, and you can stay here in safety with us.
Oh, I'm not a ma'am, but this right here, this Lady Morrow, she's my protector. So
And he
I
looks
think I'll
back
be
and forth
fine.
because he was clearly talking to Minnie.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Aren't you the one that feller that Captain Miller was going to see?
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I think you must be mistaken.
What?
That was somebody else.
No, it was me.
Not Emilio.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It was not.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Damn it.
So just go on down
Grover,
to.
You were
on
supposed to
down
be back here 30 minutes ago.
Oh, that was
Emilio, shut up. Excuse me, darling. We'll be going this way. Someone's got to get that man naked. Never thought I'd have to try so hard to do it for free. Emilio, come on.
Ma'am, if you fail with him, I'm sure we got plenty of volunteers.
like for examination.
Volunteers for what? You know,
Well,
I
you
run
said-
a saloon.
Well, you said you were trying to get a man. I was just making a joke, ma'am. I apologize.
Well,
No.
I mean, if you got some money, if you want to get naked real quick,
Yeah.
at least I would get somebody naked and I'd feel a little bit better about myself.
What do you mean? I thought I
Let
Yeah,
the lady what? Let the lady what?
okay. Yeah, no, I
Shh.
okay.
Well, officer's tent's right over there. We could go have a discussion about this. And
How much money you got? A lady such as myself is not free, you know.
you hear a bunch of snicker. Well, I am an officer, ma'am. I do get paid an officer's wages.
Which is
He leans over and whispers in your ear, and it's a pretty good amount.
Emilio, darling, I think it would be best if you take the platter and you go after McCarty. Give me about an hour. You won't have to worry about Violetta's college. Higher
Oh,
education?
Hold,
Just-
on. One.
No. We had an agreement. Just go on now. I'll follow.
I mean, I have no problem with it. I just want to make sure the right people are doing the right things. And I'll
Oh,
look
we're
at
doing the
this.
right things.
I'm
Wait
gonna
a
look
minute,
at
aren't
this
you-
captain.
Aren't you the one that Grover had arrested early? I mean, Captain Miller had
No.
arrested earlier.
No, that was somebody else. I vaguely witnessed it on down the road. Emilio, will you please go after McCarty? Get him naked. Here's the platter. Go.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
No more words.
Uh,
Keep going.
yeah, and he's like fingering this like ring in his hand, and he just kind of puts it in his pocket, and it's like, okay, all right, let's go.
I'm gonna take what's his face by the I don't even care what his name is. I'm gonna take it by the arm and we're gonna go back to his tent. I expect my money up front.
I'm not even going to make the joke that came to mind. We'll come back to you later.
This ain't my first rodeo.
No, I'm not going to say it. Anyway,
Thinking it's just as bad, Tam.
Caleb and Emilio, I assume you're making your way to the the hay shed.
The ball.
Yeah, the ball.
Yeah. How you doing, Caleb? I mean, this is a lot going on. I mean, what you've had people gone missing. I think there was a murder or two, and like this has rocked your world. And you pretty much grew up here, right?
Listen, Emilio, I said my piece back in the tavern a while ago, a few weeks ago, about how I felt about this, but since then, I found my resolve. That no matter what comes, I have people I need to protect. Now, if that means facing down my own brother, so be it.
No, I understand. During times of desperation, we shed our humanity, flesh and bone and all, and we come out only as monsters against them. So let you and I go forth and do what is required of us, leaving our heart behind.
With all this talk about monsters, Caleb will just turn and slowly look at Emilio, and then turn back. Well, all right.
Let's do it.
Coming from just ahead of you, you hear a familiar voice.
My God,
And
if that's Violetta. Okay.
It don't matter to me what you do. We're just going to destroy this whole world. If you want to be
Isaiah James McCarty.
Where are... Oh, there you... That is the evil one.
The evil one? Who's the one destroying everything?
We haven't destroyed anything yet. Come bow before me. Supplicate yourself to the majesty that is Isaiah.
Now, if Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego wouldn't prostrate themselves before a false god, I'm sure not going to.
Especially since the Bible was written by a false god, basically.
Stop this right now.
I'm sorry. I thought we were having a religious debate. Are we not?
Well, I got news for you. I don't think you're fireproof. And if you think God's going to protect you from the flames, then you just bring it on, brother. I found a new way of thinking, and he reaches down into this hole on the top of the ball, and this young, very thin shape. From this distance, you can't tell much except that the face seems unusual. There doesn't seem to be a nose, and the eyes are very large. I have found my true love, Caleb.
Oh.
Boy, I don't know what's gotten into you, but I'm not the one who should be afraid of flames.
Well, we are the master of all. My new friends here, they come from another planet, Caleb.
What are you talking about?
It's talking about the other. I mean, scientifically, if there are some amount of planets in the solar system and such, eventually one would kind of house life in some form, right?
Look, I understand that, Emilio. I understand.
Okay.
You know what, Isaiah? I've heard all about this before. I've heard a lot of things lately, and if you want to fall in love and get hitched to some girl from, I don't know, Mars or wherever she come from.
It's not Mars.
Then that's your business. But what exactly does that have to do with everybody bowing knees to you like you're some kind of... Like you're some kind of idol?
I don't think you understand the situation, Caleb. You see... And he turns and holds her hand and looks up at her. She's a princess. And I have to give her a gift worthy of her. And so I told her I would give her the entire earth if she would just be mine.
Punta, this is not your planet to be giving I mean, one of the prime advantages for being on your knees is that your teeth are this close to everything that is most sensitive about your body. So, my friend, if you want us to prostrate ourselves and get that close to you, my man Caleb here, he is a man of violence and he will bite down. If you've ever seen a dog bite down on a piece of meat, he doesn't care about the rest of his body. He is going to rip that son of a bitch right off.
I appreciate it, Emilio, I think. But if I could just take a moment. Isaiah, I'm afraid your gift is about to be destroyed. You see, if you don't give this girl back to her people, then they are going to blow our planet up, so they say. Now,
Well,
how's that for self-sabotage?
Well, I think you're kind of missing a little bit of the picture here, Caleb, like you have been for the last 20 years. I mean, you ever even kissed a woman yet? No, I don't think you've even held hands. Well, I
think
got
he went
news for
shared a
you,
room.
Caleb. Her people, well, they're all for this. They like the idea of this wedding. They like the idea of bringing Earth under the dominion of Venus. They're
Venus,
saying that then
that's the one.
they can destroy the Earth and it will no longer obstruct their view of Uranus.
Wait, hold on.
They want to destroy the Earth?
It's just a big obstacle in the way. If it's gone, well, that solves a lot of problems. Now, of course, there might be some valuable things here. Apparently, they have a shortage of salt.
Why are you so on board with this? You have family on this planet, same as I do.
Well, you know,
Now, I
Caleb,
still keep in mind. Keep in mind what's important to me.
Well, Caleb, I never said I was going to destroy all of them. As you can see, my faithful here, as they are becoming our apostles into the world, so will I extend this offer to our brothers and sisters. But you, Caleb, you have been overbearing and bossy and obnoxious and celibate and just straight-laced God-fearing, and I can't live with it anymore, Caleb. I want to have fun.
You are the worst type of man.
Exactly what he said. Now, you may be my brother, Isaiah, but if God can give up his only son, I can give up 1/3 of my brothers to save the world.
Yeah, I mean, look at the story of Cain and Abel, right? He bashed his head in.
Well, that's not a good example, Emilio. I wouldn't go with that one.
Are we not going to bash his head in?
Well, I'm intending to do it more with righteous fervor rather than out of petty jealousy.
Well, I'm going to do it with this rock. He's going to pick up a rock.
As you
Can
pick
throw
up
it
the
that
rock,
far? He's all the way up on that ball.
the princess withdraws something that looks roughly like a pistol from the belt at her side and points it in your direction.
Caleb, do you think you can hit him before I die?
I think I'd probably better get you back in one piece or Miss Morrow's going to kill me.
Yeah, but this is talking about the world, right?
So why don't you put that rock down?
If we right here, right now, bash this man's face in, this is all
Listen,
over, right?
maybe a little less talk about bashing his face in.
Well, see, Caleb, here you are again trying to run my life for me. I am bringing a whole new world to these people, and all they have to do is agree to be part of the new kingdom and accept me as their king. And you, Caleb, I am giving you the opportunity. You prove that you are willing to behave and accept someone above you, accept me as your leader. You sit in front of me on a silver platter, naked as the day you were born, naked as Job in his tribulation and trials.
There are
And-
plenty of people that I'm willing to, well, I don't know about getting naked for, but that I'm willing to take orders from. You have not earned a bit of my respect, Isaiah.
Gosh, dang it, Caleb. Don't you get it? It ain't a bit of thing. You didn't earn ownership of the thing. You were just the oldest brother. And so you took over the ranch and you've been bossing everybody around.
Is that what this is about?
That's why our sister left home. You know where she went to work, don't you?
Are you blaming me for Rachel?
She hides
leaving
every
home?
time you go into town because she doesn't want you to know she works for Minnie at the tavern.
I know that.
Damn,
I know
Caleb.
it, Isaiah. So you're saying it's all my fault? You're saying I can't run the ranch as well as Pa could? You're saying I'm running it into the ground? I'm just telling everybody what to do and I don't know anything?
Yeah.
And you think that the leader should be you? You think you're so much better than I am? Is that it?
See, that's the difference between us, Caleb. You think running that dinky-ass farm is power in a kingdom. I am going to rule, what did you call it, sweetheart? The galaxy.
It's not about power, you moron. It's about responsibility. Whoever wants to rule the world, let him. This is my piece of it. This is my family. This is my lot in life. And I don't mind it. I didn't know you wanted more.
That's 'cause you never listened. No, Isaiah, you go out there and watch the cows. I want to go to town. No, Isaiah, you need to stay here and watch the cows.
Caleb,
I'm going
maybe
to go eat some dinner. You stay out here and watch the cows, and we'll bring some dinner out to you in a cup.
Caleb, maybe he just wants to hear that you love him.
Of course I love him.
Tell him.
I love everybody in my family.
No, not this. Tell him right now in his eyes. Tell him you love him.
Isaiah, I love you. You are my brother.
Oh, Caleb,
And I thought you loved me too.
I appreciate that you say that, Caleb. And if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be giving you this opportunity to save yourself.
I love
See, my plan was if you would agree and do this one thing, I was going to carve out that one section of the whole planet, and we would put it under glass, put it up on a podium back on the home planet, and it would be there as your special place. But now, I don't know. I think you're a little misguided there, Caleb.
You are one sick bastard, Isaiah.
How far is he away from us? Is he
Caleb's
Well,
gonna
not?
start reaching for his rifle.
He's 25 feet up and probably a good 30, 40 feet away from you. You didn't say how far you closed in once you heard
Yeah.
him talking, so I'm assuming that you're,
I'm
you're
going
at
to
least
start
at-
running forward with this rock. Let's do this, motherfucker.
Emilio, are you okay? I need to know, are you actually charging with a rock in your hand?
Yes, it is all I have. Just make it count, Caleb. Make it count.
Okay. Amelia, do you have any like shooting skill? Because I have a pistol I can loan you while I use my rifle.
Oh, the rock is probably my best bet because I have athletics. So I think that's
go.
involved in throwing things. So the rock is the greatest weapon I have. A knife would also work, or maybe a
I have a
javelin.
knife.
Oh, hey, can you like hand me a knife?
Yeah, can I give him my hunting knife, Tam?
Of course, that's going to, assuming he hasn't started running with the rock yet.
Yeah, like if he has a hunting knife like on that impeccable waistline of his, I'll definitely like unbutton it and be like, "Can I?"
He gave him the knife. Maybe he's going to undress.
Yeah, that's what he's
Come
doing.
on, Caleb. All you got to do is this one thing. I chased him away.
Oh.
Caleb, it's just one thing.
Oh, man.
Not getting naked, damn it.
Maybe he is. He's just shy. So, we didn't want that to be on camera and cause us to
I
get
told
Twitch
you
banned.
he's got the tiny PP. That's why he can't do it.
The
Well,
the battery died. He'll be back in just a second.
It's the
All right,
Twitch
I'm-
TOS. You have to prepare you have to guard the nipples.
That's
or
right.
else you
No
get banned.
nipples.
I'm gonna
Male
go
nipples
ahead.
included. No nipples.
I'm gonna go ahead and go on break.
That sounds
We'll come back in a few minutes.
on the discussion of
back. When we left off, Caleb was handing Emilio a knife that was seen by Isaiah on top of the giant steel ball standing next to his girlfriend. And he thought maybe this meant that Caleb was handing his clothes to Emilio knife first.
It's
all right.
He poked me. All right, and throw it.
You're going to attempt to throw it.
Am I too far? Is this good throwing distance?
You're 30 feet this way, and they're 25 feet up. So,
all right, let's Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to do the math and do an elevated throw at that distance.
Squared, where's that? Is it solved for B, right? It's A, B. No, that's solved for C.
Hey. I don't allow letters in my math, okay? There's just something fundamentally wrong with that.
All right, can we do like Pokemon?
Okay, unless it's D10, then it's okay math, because I can add that.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I think this is probably the best chance I'll ever get. So let's do an aim shot right at his eyeball, the left one.
All right. So this is going to be hurling a weapon. So it's a knife throw. So we're going to do a dexterity, and I'm going to let you use either athletics or archery for this. It really should fall under brawl, but either I think it's what you're doing here may go elsewhere.
Athletic, yeah, because I only have dots in athletic and ride. So unless I can ride.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna ride the knife. So.
Yeah, that's
so let's do a dexterity and athletics. There would normally be some minuses and pluses here from distance, but you said you were going to aim, so I'm just going to have that wash. So just give me a straight roll of your dex and athletics, and let's see how this knife throw goes.
Okay, please, Bejeebus or Satan. Caleb, pray to Satan for me.
Do me a favor before you are going to get to kick this off, but everybody roll me an initiative as well.
I'm gonna use a willpower.
You can't use a willpower for initiatives.
No, I meant for the attack, not for the.
Oh well, yeah, you definitely can for that.
Yeah. Okay, please.
All right, 1 sec.
What'd you get, Emilio, for your initiative? So it's a D10 plus your initiative modifier.
Yeah, I got a 12.
Not bad. All right, and Caleb.
Sorry, my computer was giving me some issues. 1 sec, sorry.
No problem. It's a
You're
D10 plus your initiative modifier.
Yeah, slap it, blanket, listen to you.
You know, if you were nicer to your computer, it might be nicer to you.
That's true. I should be nice.
Works.
All right,
it just works.
A single D10.
You know, maybe it's trying to tell you to quit watching those kind of videos and stuff. When you're...
Dexterity plus composure, right?
What?
So it's going to be
What else
10.
is the internet for?
10?
10.
All righty. All right, so we're going to go out of order with the surprise attack here from Emilio, and then we'll fall into the actual initiative order. So, Emilio, hurl that knife. You can add 3 die to your die pool for putting that willpower on there. And let me know what you got. The frowny face is not a good sign.
Yeah, I rolled it. I got no successes.
Did you get any ones?
Oh, God. Let me see. I got 1 1. Oh, I got 2 1s.
Okay, that moves it away from just a simple failure into the range of critical failures.
I don't think I'm good at this.
Knife throwing probably isn't your thing.
I should have used a book. Damn it.
You throw the knife and it hits this great arc and just arcs up like it's headed straight toward her. You get that moment of yes, and then it arcs downward, reflects off the front of the ball, goes over and pegs one of the supplicants square in the chest.
Oh.
And they fall over.
No.
There are
I'm
now
looking.
9 supplicants instead of 10.
I'm looking at Caleb.
It's all right, Emilio. It was only an idolater.
Which brings us to the princess at the top of the initiative order, who's seeing what is going on here. Again, draws that odd weapon from her belt, aims it in Emilio's direction, and fires.
Come on, Minnie. Goddess Minnie, protect me. You said you would.
I do not believe this.
What? Is it a crit fail? She shoots herself in
She
the
rolled
face.
exactly what you rolled.
Yeah! We all suck.
So as she is slinging this thing around to fire it at you, her finger apparently catches the trigger. And she herself blasts a parishioner.
All right.
Who stands up, and as you watch, from the center outward, just melts and dissipates into the air. Until all that is left standing there is a charred skeleton going.
Yikes.
Yeah. Start shooting, Caleb. Do you happen to have another knife?
Caleb,
maybe
you're up.
Okay.
2 extra.
Well, see, I've got my rifle, but here's my question. How far can I throw my lasso?
Not 30 feet. I don't know if your ropes,
probably not 30 feet.
Yeah,
I'm not a
ropes.
Superman.
Yeah, and
All
normally the rope for a lasso, you're going to be 15 to 20 feet max. So 30 feet would be a little bit much. So now you have enough speed, you could probably close the gap away. He's 25 feet up. If you're assuming you're going for your brother, for Isaiah. Roughly 25 feet up. So let's give it benefit of the doubt. We'll say it's a 30-foot rope just because what the hell? That's going to mean you have to be within 5 feet of the ball. That's 25-foot distance. Your movement, what's your movement speed?
My movement speed? Well, I'm on my horse.
Oh, well, if you're still on the horse, that number 1, that cuts a few feet off the distance.
Yeah, I never got off the horse.
Okay.
So if I ride forward a bit and throw the
on a horse,
rope.
You definitely could close that distance, and your rope will be long enough to reach. No problem.
All right. Now the question is whether I go for him or for that alien girl. Because she's likely to be weaker, a little lighter. And also has that death ray. Yep. I'm going to rope the princess.
All right. Do you have the lasso ability? I can't remember if you did or not.
Lasso ability. What is the lasso ability?
There was something in the books that I forwarded to you guys about using a lasso, and it gives you a bonus on the roll if you have it, which I don't think you're going to based on what you're...
I don't have that. I have the roping specialty in athletics, at least.
Well, I think that's good enough. Hang on a second. My machine's misbehaving now. Hello, machine. Come back from the Bahamas here. By the way, for anybody who's interested out there watching, that is in the Dark Eras 2 book. And so, you said you have it under athletics, is that right?
That's right.
Okay, so that's going to be your dexterity plus athletics -2 for his defense.
Okay. But with the special.
But with the specialty, you get to add 1 die back on there. That is correct.
All right. Now I assume I didn't get any willpower back for being proud, but I am going to.
You didn't mention it at the time, but I am perfectly fine with you gaining a willpower back. So,
Oh, good.
yes.
And then spend it again on this roll.
Okay. All right.
I don't
'Cause
want
I
to
thought
fail.
that was a good
That-
idea.
That'd be rough. What we got here? Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, nice. Hold on. One sec.
I don't know what it is, but I think it's nice.
Well, I rolled 5 so far, and 3 of those were 10, so I'm about to re-roll those.
Oh my word. Okay, look, you've already got a dramatic success. You got him.
7.
All right, you've lassoed him. I mean, that is a dramatic success. You've got the lasso around him. With the dramatic success, you've even got his arms pinned to his side.
I'm going to spur Bill and pull him off of that thing. And we'll see if he survives. If he doesn't, oh well.
All right, you yank him off of that. He is going to take a fall of 25 feet. And also the jerk from the rope. And he is going to take some bashing damage. So definitely he is injured.
All right. Well, I guess that's my turn.
All right. The crowd, seeing one of their own turned into charred bones, seeing another one with a knife in the chest, are a little bit befuddled about what exactly to do in this case, because both sides have killed people of their number. So I think I'm going to have to do a morale check for this. So one moment, please, while I determine what the crowd's going to do. Yeah. The crowd kind of mumbles for themselves for a moment. They look at their new profound leader on the ground. They look at the murderous girlfriend on top of the thing. They look at the murderous Emilio. And most of them scatter. However, one of them, and you know him, Caleb, he's one of the other ranchers. He never really liked you very much. Didn't necessarily care for Isaiah all that much either. But he used to visit the tavern a lot and seemed to like your sister quite a bit, which also made him like you less because obviously the disagreement between you and your sister and so forth. And he is going to draw his pistol and take aim at you. What's your defense? Well, you don't have defense because you're not wearing any kind of armor.
Well, does it change anything that I was spurring my horse, so I'm technically in motion?
You were in motion, but you'd have to be kind of heading towards them a little bit, I think. So I'm not going to put that one on there. So you are going to take a hit. And you are going to take 1 lethal. As the bullet enters your arm.
Does that change anything for me other than just I mark it on my sheet?
Not at this point. Not at this point.
Okay.
No, it does not.
Okay.
So you take a bullet wound, and he yells out, "Damn it, Caleb! We were all set for things to get better around here. And you have to go and dethrone our new and fearless leader."
If you want to
Isaiah-
live in if you fancy being in a glass jar, I'll arrange for you to be in one after you're dead.
Isaiah looks up. "I wasn't going to put them in the glass jar, Caleb, just you."
Makes him all the dumber.
And he is going to attempt to, Isaiah is going to attempt to extricate himself from the rope, which I know you were still in motion. It's not going to be easy, but he's going to try and see if he can loosen the lasso a little bit. And unless he gets a really lucky roll here, I don't think that's going to happen. But he tries, but it doesn't work for him. He is still bound and held inside of this. Which brings us back around to the top of the order. And the princess, as you have dropped Isaiah to the ground, she's going to holster the weapon. And she looks out at you, Caleb, and she says, "Fornication, dildos, you..." That's it. You let him go, or I will personally destroy you and everyone else in your family.
You put that gun down, or I personally destroy him.
She hops inside the metal ball, and you hear as it begins to close, and you can see it turning into a solid sphere of metal. Emilio, you're up.
Go pick up that rock and start running towards Isaiah.
Okay. You can close the gap. He's not that far away, I think. So, but that'll be it. If you're charging to get there, you'll just get.
Yeah, just have like the rock raised above his head. Like, all right, let's do this.
All right, Caleb.
Oh, I get the sense I probably need to get the hell out of here. You know what? Actually, can I try and pull Isaiah in and just knock him out with like a kick?
You would have to pull him up into the air onto the horse with one arm. That would be difficult. Now, if you're going to dismount, that's another thing.
Or you could use your horse and step on him.
Stomp him.
No, I don't want to kill him because then she's definitely going to try and disintegrate me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
we
if
have
I
different
have-
goals.
If I have him riding with me, then maybe she will think twice about shooting me with whatever death rays she's got.
Well, I definitely don't think that you'll be able to pull him up with one arm onto the horse. I think that's a bit
Fair enough.
unrealistic.
Fair enough. All right, I will dismount and then try and go over and punch out Isaiah.
All right. Well, Emilio's there with a rock. He could probably help. All right. I'm gonna put you guys on hold for a moment. Minnie, you hear the gunshot ring out in the distance, and it was the area that Caleb went to. You also hear the sound of some weird noise of cut through the air in the distance. And then you hear a lot of screaming and yelling.
What in the hell is going on down there? Are you?
He looks and goes, down there. What do you mean down there? What are you
No,
doing?
not on you, darling. You were fine. Are you done though?
I am now.
Okay, well, I need you to pay up because I think there's some problems down there. You want to come and help? You don't hear the shooting and the screaming?
All right. So he will conclude business with you, and
Did
I'm
he
going
pay
to
up?
move. Of course.
Okay, then yes, we're going that way. Come on.
I'll
I'll give you free drinks at the saloon.
I'm going to go back at the. No, I want a do-over. I'm going back to the mine, and Marshall, you and Bull have reached the store of dynamite. The temperature has changed inside the mine again. It's not quite as hot, but it's definitely shifting towards the warm side of it. And when you walk in and you see there are several crates, at least 6, marked dynamite. The top one is open, and inside you see 3 or 4 sticks. And when you first look at them, they glisten a little bit. But now, as the heat's coming in, that glistening kind of softens from an icy glisten to more of a liquid, as the heat is causing them to warm up. Well, there you go, Marshall.
Thank you, Bull. Look, do you think you could help me open up some of those other crates? These ones are looking a little moist for my taste.
All right. He rears back his fist.
Whoa!
What?
I wouldn't do that.
Well, how else you want me to open them?
Well, I don't know. I guess I was hoping maybe you'd pry off a couple of the boards, because if you
And
go
he
bursting
raises an eyebrow and kind of. And how do you expect me to pry them off?
Well, I wasn't exactly sure. I figured we'd.
You were thinking, oh, he's got horns and he can put a horn in there and use it as a pry bar. That's what you were thinking, wasn't it, Marshall?
Honest with you, no, I wasn't. Didn't even cross my mind. Well, all right, maybe for a moment it did, but that was not what I was thinking.
You know, Marshall, I thought you were a different kind of man, but it turns out you're just as much of a speciesist as everyone else.
Hell no, I was just worried if you were going to punch through them. Look at that dynamite, it's glistening. You know what would happen?
No.
Whole place would go up. That's what that does when it gets volatile like that. It'll.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't seem to make Ma feel that way. Just makes her happy.
Yeah, well, your Ma
Don't let her see it. She'll be licking the glisten right off. She'll lick the paper off of that thing.
Well, I wouldn't be too surprised. And in this case, maybe that ain't the word. No. That's right. You're trying to fix her on that. We ain't going to do that. Look, we got us a couple of options here. I'm just as open to hearing what you have to say as anything, so.
Well, if you're concerned about it, I'll try and open the box carefully. But, all right. And he takes and puts his head down. And he is going to attempt to use a horn to pry. Marshall, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to come over here and help me get my horn in the right place.
Yeah. I'll
you just stand here in front of me, and I'll bow down, and you just put your hands on my horns and kind of move it in the direction you need.
Yeah, and then we won't speak about this after that, right? That way nobody has any feelings about you or myself. And
all right. Careful, Marshall. I don't want my nose ring to get caught on your zipper or anything.
Yeah, I know. And I'll work my way in as best as I can and get this wedged in however I can. Right. Someplace, hopefully, where it's not going
to... give me a strength and larceny. And I'm going to give you a bonus to the die since you got the bull by the horns. So I'm going to give you +2 for that one.
Any chance I could use survival instead of larceny? Because I want to live.
Well, I don't know how survival fits into opening a crate. Larceny is kind of more on the theft side. So I'm going to hold you to larceny on this one.
How many minus dice do I get for not being trained in larceny?
-1. It's a physical skill. Hey, you gained a couple, so you're only really losing. You're net gaining 1. So.
Yeah, well, we got one. All right.
I was
rolling 2 dice there.
I was gonna say, before you explode, let me check and see what's happening at the other end of the mine. All right, so you're able to pop open the side of this crate. And which crate did you go for? There are several, and they were stacked up. So the top one's the one that was opened.
Right, I guess we'd probably be going for another one of them top crates. That's
Okay.
figure I don't want to shift them right now when I don't know what's in them.
Well, you open this one up, and it looks to be in better condition. The sawdust is still packed in around it a bit. Doesn't seem to be oozing and seeping anywhere. So,
Thank you, Bull. This is going to work out just right, I think.
and from what you can tell, there's about 30 sticks inside it.
Right, I think I'm going to try to take 6 of them, slide them into
Okay.
my coat so that Miss Silk will not see them as we're coming back. I'd also like to take 3 of those 6 and tie them together with a rope.
Okay.
Leave 15 feet behind the tied dynamite.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. You hear some noises from down deeper in the mine. Well, I think we should probably move out of here, Marshall. It's going to get really cold in a moment.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bull. Let's head out. Speaking of which, you ain't got a first name, have you? Or is that your last name? I'm not sure.
Well, I had a name, but when I went to work in the court and they made the modifications, and they just said they wanted a cowboy and named me Bull.
Court. So that means he's from England, like Silk was, right?
No, Ma's from some place called England. I was from a place called Mexico.
Gee, I guess we're gonna have to get to the bottom of your name at some point. For now, let's get out of this mine.
All right. You be careful handling that stuff now.
It's a plan.
Because if
If I
Ma
don't,
finds out about it, I don't say much for your chances.
yeah, well, hopefully by the time she finds out about it, it'll be too late for anybody to do anything about it.
You know, I once saw Ma tear a man apart because he had a little bit of whiskey in a flask and he tried to hide it in his back pocket.
Say, she can't smell this stuff, can she?
Well, she does have a pretty fine nose.
Well, we'll just hope and pray then. And I got 3
Yeah.
extra ones if it push comes to shove.
Yep. Just remember, if she comes at you, your best defense is to curl into a ball and play dead.
Yeah, just like one of them bears. Wait, she
Yep.
ain't a bear, is she?
No, she ain't a bear, but just like it, if you curl up into a ball and play dead, then you'll be ready for when she really kills you.
Oh, hell. Look, I don't want to dwell on this anymore. Let's let's get out of here.
All right. Back at the top of the mine.
What's that I smell?
The creature is continuing to walk around, and every once in a while you'll see as one of the legs steps in front of the mine.
Okay.
It is still searching around.
Any word
And
on
then-
Bonnie?
I'll get back to her in just a moment. And at one point, you hear a horse. It kind of whinnies. makes a noise you've never heard from a horse before. And then you hear that sound again, that it just cracks and it lights up outside super bright. And then it goes dark and you hear the giant ball with legs walking around again.
So it would be safe to assume that any living thing out there is just vaporizing. That it sees.
There is a possibility.
Ah, jeez. Okay. All right. Right. I will. Is there anything I can do to kind of block the entrance of the mine? Like,
there's wood that's been stacked up. There's
I
probably
mean, like
some
even like
dirt
a
that's been
curtain or
dug
like
out.
cloth, you know?
Nothing like that inside here.
Okay.
Bonnie is going to look up and. Do you know where it is? Where the wellspring's at?
I told one of the boys to take you to it. Did he get lost?
Well, I remember Jersey was taking care of the injured person, so I don't know who it was because Bull went off with the marshal. So.
Oh, I told one of them to take Bonnie to the wellspring.
Well, I totally ignored you. So
Okay.
in this case, I will say that Jersey left you with the other man.
Okay, yeah, that's better. Yeah.
And which is Bruce,
Mhm.
and is going to take Bonnie down to the wellspring.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I said earlier, but yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry. No, that's my bad as being a non-listening participant at the table. I really should pay attention. Yeah, that would help.
I probably would have checked up on her though, at the wellspring.
Okay.
Is a wellspring just literally just a like water? Is that what it is?
No, it is not. This is an energy locus. It is a point of power for changelings.
Oh well, I'm heading there then. What am I? For Pacha.
You didn't
All right.
ask, and you have some issues with your perception. So
I'm sorry.
No.
I will head there then.
As you go to head away, Bruce looks up. You're not leaving us here, are you?
Just, it's fine. Stay safe. What's your name again? And she'll point to the guy she just had sex with.
Oliver.
Oliver, take care of Bruce, and I will then head to
But sweetheart, where are you going? I can't bear to be parted from you.
Take care of Bruce!
All right. Fine. So as you make your way down, you can kind of follow the path Jersey went. And they take another offshoot. You can tell the path that Bull and the marshal took. The footprints are pretty clear in the dirt. But Jersey and Bonnie went off a different direction. So if you're going to follow them down into the wellspring, we will allow that to continue on. Marshall, you and Bull eventually make it back to find Bruce and Oliver, Mr. Bruce and Mr. Wells. I just didn't want to say Wells because that would get confusing. At the top of the well, and you hear the creature walking around outside.
Damn it. Gentlemen, where is Miss Silk gone?
Well, I think it should be Miss Wells because I intend to marry her, Marshall, but I think we're in love.
Yeah, well, thinking's a wonderful thing. I got a question I need answering.
Bull's just shaking his head. Well, what is it? What is it, Marshall? What do you need? By the way, was your horse outside?
Yes, is there something, Madam Blue?
No, not at all. Nothing at all.
All right, well, I'll put that out of my mind for now and ask once again, where it is that Miss Wells went since you're so intent?
She was going to something called the Wellspring.
Well, gentlemen, I put myself together a plan, and I think we're all going to make it out of here just fine. But, well, I think, well, if you wouldn't mind going and getting your ma and everyone else out of the bottom when they're done with whatever it is they got to do with the wellspring, I'm going to
Well,
show that big metal ball how we like to do things down here.
all right, Marshall, but I think at this point, considering Mr. Wells' disposition, by the way, it'll wear off in a month or two.
That's good to know.
I'm pretty sure that Maul's anticipating it.
You don't mean what I think you mean. Please don't tell me that.
Well, depends on what you think I mean.
It ain't gonna be like them children in the corn.
Oh, no, not at all. Nothing like the children of the corn.
Oh,
Mr. Wells here isn't a corn farmer.
that's right. You said something about ink blots or something like that. Oh, you know what? Let's just go with what I said before. Get them up here. She's expecting or not, she can bring the whole brood. Why not?
That's the word I was looking for. I always think it's anticipating, but it's expecting. But I guess kind of if you know it's, I don't know.
I don't know the difference myself, so we're both in the same place. All I know is we can't stay in this mine forever. And if there's one of these things roaming around out here, and that's the big metal ball that fell out of the sky in the farmer's field, I'm worried about the town. I need to get down there. And, well, gentlemen, there ain't no way you can live in this mine, is there?
No, Marshall, I don't think so. No, there ain't no way, Marshall. I guarantee death may have come out earlier, but I'm sure there's something worse that's going to be coming this way real soon.
All right.
I'd go investigate, but my helmet's outside and there ain't nobody to run the pump. And I'm afraid it gets too hot even for me down there.
Look, we can handle all that here in a little while. But for now, I need you to go get your mom, get your brother, get Miss Skills if she's happy to come. Once they're finished with whatever it is they got to do. But, Mr. Wells, I'm ashamed to say it, I ain't much good for writing, but I could use you to write me a letter in case I shouldn't make it.
Well, I'd be happy
I
to
want
do
to make
that
sure
for
you
you,
fellas
Marshall.
get out of here, though.
I'd be happy to do that for you, Marshall. Unfortunately, and this is kind of embarrassing, I didn't bring a pencil or any paper. I've just been committing it all to memory so I could tell my brother about this, and I think it's going to make an interesting story one day.
Could be. Well, in that case, I guess there ain't nothing that important. We'll just sit here and. Well, gentlemen, do you like cards? I think a nice game of cards about now is something I'd like to do before anything starts up.
And as you're saying this, you're hearing as this thump, thump, thump continues outside as it's circling around the area.
Maybe this will give me an idea whether or not luck's on my side.
All right. Very good. Bull's going to take off to go fetch everybody else, and I'm going to jump back over to Caleb and Emilio. As
Cowboy Bros.
Yeah, Cowboy Bros. As Caleb has dismounted and was going to make the attempt to make Isaiah unconscious, I believe was the way of it. So are you just going to hit him, or what's the goal?
I mean, yeah, right. We just rock to face. That will knock him out,
Yeah, I'm just gonna punch him pretty much.
All right.
and I'll rock him.
All right. Well, we'll have to come back around in the initiative order for you to rock him. But Caleb it's easy enough to slide off a horse.
Yeah.
So if you want to just
Now, do I get any help from him being bound?
absolutely, his defense is 0 against this. So basically, I know what your intent is. So you're going to give me a strength and brawl, and this is going to go against his resolve and stamina, and we'll just see where it comes out.
All right. That's 3 successes.
That is enough because he got a crit fail. So you have knocked Isaiah unconscious.
All right, I'll make sure to hold him to me to try and deter me from being shot at or by ranchers or aliens or whatever else.
So the rancher who shot you. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm actually going to see if I can get him up on the back of the horse as I walk him over there. But I don't know if I can do that this turn.
Not this turn, but you'll be working on it.
This.
The rancher who shot you is standing there with his gun, and he's pointing it at you and going, Now, Caleb, I'm sorry I had to shoot you there, but I'm going to need you to just leave our Lord and Master there now.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You're not going to kill him, are you, Caleb? I mean, he is your brother.
Family business. Now, why don't you holster that smoke wagon and let me get back on my horse?
Yeah, I ain't going to kill you, so I guess I might as well. He holsters it.
That's what I thought.
He just kind of turns with his head down and walks away. Isaiah can't take an action because he's unconscious. This moves us back up to the princess. So Minnie, you and your officer friend are making your way out of the tent and heading that way. When suddenly legs sprout out of the sides of this ball. It makes an odd sound like a bellows in a forge as the legs take purchase, and it rises up 40 feet into the air. And with that, it's back to Emilio.
Looking at my rock, versus the giant Ballzilla. Calculating my chances. Yeah. We'll get on my horse and giddy up on out of here. I've done my job.
All right. Well, that leaves Caleb trying to get one-armed Caleb. Trying to get
Oh God, yeah, Isaiah. Gosh darn it. Oh, where's
so
your
that's
arm,
entirely
Caleb?
up to you.
Oh, get an arm. Gosh darn it. I'm gonna help Caleb get Isaiah onto his horse thing.
All right.
I've moved bodies before. This is normal.
All right. Well, the two of you working together are able to get Isaiah onto the horse. As the ball is still, trying to rise up and kind of get oriented. You can see as it's kind of wobbling a little bit as it figures out its stance.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap that or the ass of the horse. Be like, get Caleb. You figure this out, man.
All right. So Caleb, I assume you got back on your horse with your brother
Yeah, I will
Isaiah
be getting,
at this point.
Yep, I'll be getting back on the horse with Isaiah. Now the question is where I'm going with him.
Exactly.
Head to Boston. They have an army there. Maybe that'll work. Some scientific weapons.
This is so stupid, but I'm going to tell you my thought process. Now Caleb is thinking, you can't go into town. There are too many people. Can't go back to the ranch because that'll be obliterated.
How many legs does this Ballzilla have?
3.
He needs
Caleb,
to go.
you have your rope still, right?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking you tie it to one of those legs and you go around until you wrap it all, nice and tight, just like a cow or something, and it falls over.
You want me to hog tie this giant Venus spider?
Yes. If anyone can do it, Caleb, it's you. I've seen the things you can do with your hands. You got this.
This is the only time you're ever going to hear me say this, Emilio. But fuck me.
I know a few who are lining up to. Now let's do this.
He starts undoing the rope from Isaiah.
Okay. Minnie, you and the officer see as this sphere rises up into the air. It takes a moment before you can actually see the legs because they're much smaller. But you see as this thing stands up.
What is that?
It's a giant metal ball with legs.
Is that yours?
No, ma'am.
Well, I guess we better go make sure the others are all right. That looks not good.
Oh, ma'am, I think I'm going to go this way, and I recommend you come with me, and I'm going
So you mean to tell me you're a coward?
No, ma'am, I'm about to set up a defensive front against this thing, and it is going to face the firepower of the U.S. Army.
Ooh. Well, if it's anything like your firepower, it's going down. I had to. I could not.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
Well, what about all the sounds coming and the shooting?
Well, they're either okay, or they're dead, or they will be, or they're going to run. And if they run, any sensible person will come back this way because they know this is where we've got all the might of the army lined up across the road. We have it barricaded and we have weapons.
Well, I need to go and make sure Emilio's all right because I know he went in there. I can't just leave him.
Well, I've got to go get the men ready, and he will hand you a pistol. Be safe.
I'll do the best I can. Thank you.
All right.
I go in like a white knight. I have to save Emilio.
All right.
Yeah,
As
can we
you run-
play that song? I Need a Hero.
I was afraid you were going to say Wrecking Ball.
Oh.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
All right, so you're going to come riding in. You see Emilio and Caleb with somebody draped across Caleb's horse. And Caleb, are you getting a rope ready? Is that?
I guess so. Against my better judgment.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't believe we're actually doing this.
All right. And the creature, I don't know what else to call it, now appears to be
Ballzilla.
stable, and it rotates its body, and you can see that there is a dark spot on the front of this ball, and it is now pointing directly at you.
Who? Is it Caleb, right?
Well, both of you are standing next to each other. So,
Oh, that's a big eye. Yeah.
yep.
You're about to disintegrate, I tell you. You realize that? I don't know the word disintegrate. You're about to turn Isaiah into dust. You realize that?
You mean disintegrate, Caleb?
Right. Disintegrate.
Disintegrate.
Yep.
And you notice as a glow starts to form deep inside the dark spot on the sphere.
I'm gonna draw its attention, Caleb. You just get your rope around its legs.
Don't you dare, Emilio. You got a daughter who needs you.
It won't matter if we don't complete this. Now get out. I want to look at you.
All right. You've got it. You've got the initiative at the moment. You got to take an action, or it's either run, fight, whatever you're going to do.
Oh yeah.
What's up?
He's gonna run away from Caleb with his rock and toss it at the eye.
All right. Give me a strength and brawl,
Oh God.
or strength and athletics. Strength and athletics, since you're throwing a rock.
Oh, strength. Let's see if I even put strength on my sheet. I think I replaced it with poetry.
That's a fair trade. Fair trade.
Yeah, I just scratched out strength and put poetry. I got one success though.
All right.
Gee, mister, do I win?
You throw this rock, and it hits the side of the thing and just bounces off. Ping.
Hey, over here.
I like that. You're trying to draw its attention. All right. Caleb, you're up.
Emilio
Don't force it.
Flores, you are a crazy, brave man. You may not believe in God, but I hope he believes in you.
I only believe in many.
All right. Caleb, well, I hope God believes in me at least. And he spurs his horse forward and tries to rope one of those legs.
All right. You can give me a lasso effect on it. I'm going to let you know that I'm going to have to give you a minus on your die pool for this. So it's going to be -3. So that's
All
3
right,
dice
well,
into your die pool.
And I'm running out of willpower here, Tam, but I guess I'm going to spend one more to try and cancel that out.
Will sex also increase your willpower?
No, it won't.
Ah, Caleb,
No,
come
he's
on.
got to feed either his virtue or his vice. I don't remember what your vice is.
My vice is pride. I already did that.
Oh, your vice is pride? I thought that was,
Yeah.
yeah, that can't be your virtue. Okay, what's your virtue?
Righteousness.
Righteousness.
Oh, mine's
Yeah,
humbleness.
you were a little on both of those. I'm gonna do something that I should have done earlier because I was not thinking you were feeding your vice. You get all your willpower back when you feed your vice.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Especially if
Oh,
you
that's
place others in danger, and I'd say you pretty well did since we have 2 innocent bystanders who are
yeah.
disharmoniously killed.
Well, well, I'm glad I got the willpower back.
So your
at least.
willpower's back less 1 because you spent 1 of them.
Yep.
So my bad on
I'm,
that.
I'm
Bad
about to spend
ST.
another.
Bad ST.
All right. So that is going to be what role? Is it athletics and
I had it in front of me and I let it go away.
dexterity? I
It will
assume?
always be dexterity plus athletics plus
All
your
right.
specialty minus the
all right.
defense. So
All right. And in this case, plus willpower. All right. So. Oh. 3.
that's good enough. You actually get it caught onto the leg. There's apparently a point. It's like a 3-jointed leg. So you catch it right at one of those joints and it gets enough grip that you actually get the rope on it pretty well. So you've got one leg.
And now the hard part. And this is the part where he starts trying to ride. I'm going to say he tries to like ride through the legs almost, like with, come on, Bill.
I'm going to point out, you still have Isaiah laying across the horse. Is he in front of you or behind you?
Now, if I say in front of me, that's probably better, isn't it?
I'm just going to leave it out there since we didn't clarify it up front. That is entirely up to you.
He's in front of me.
All right. Now, that means it's going to be extremely hard for you to wrap the lasso around the pommel on the saddle. So you can do it, but I think that's going to take you an action to do.
Okay.
Or you can hold it in your hand. So it's up to you.
No, I think I'd better secure it to the saddle horn and start riding through the legs next turn.
All right. Well, that's going to put the action on there. And that allows the machine at this point to catch up. Minnie, I need an initiative roll from you. While she's rolling initiative, I am going to pop back over to everybody at the mine as they're playing cards. And Marshall, you got a great hand. You just pulled 3 aces. But all of a sudden, the sound of the walking outside stops. You hear the bellows noise kind of amplified. And as you turn and look out the front of the mine, you see as the bottom portion of the ball comes into view. And there's a black circle with kind of a red, like a fire, glowing at the back of it. And it kind of sweeps back and forth and then stops, pointing directly at the 3 card players.
Wells, there's a woman named Emma in Tucson. If I don't make it, please make sure she gets everything that's mine. And I'm going to proceed to take out that bundle of dynamite that I made.
All right.
Light that and try to swing this dynamite on a rope. And try to get it to wrap around one of the legs of this thing close to the sphere itself.
Well, at this point, the sphere's probably filling up the sphere's probably filling up the entryway because it's big. It's 25 feet in diameter. So
fair enough.
You could definitely try and ping it. I think. So.
Yeah, in that case, that's what I'm looking for here. Try
right.
to hit it square in that glowing bit with the.
All right. I need a dexterity and brawl. I'll sure make note of that, Marshall. I'm going to write it right here on one of these cards, and I'll address it to my brother Herbert Wells. Right. 2, that is enough to hit. So you light it, you swing this thing around, you roll it to hit, and it hits on the body and sits right underneath the body of it. And I'm going to let you roll for the damage on this. And you know, I had my notes right up here that had the damage for dynamite on it, and I didn't keep it out where I could see it. So give me a moment while I look it up and remember what the heck dynamite power is.
Don't happen to get a bonus on account of there being 3 sticks at once.
Oh, I'm going to give you each stick on there, so I mean that's going to definitely.
Thank you. I just want to make sure.
All right. So each stick is going to give you 9 dice worth of damage. So 18 dice total. I hope you got enough dice. If not, you're welcome to use a die roller.
$104.
Really?
104.
That's awesome. Now, it's successes, not some.
Oh, shit.
I was like,
That's
wait a
my
minute, how did he
mistake.
get... Okay, I had to parse that myself and go, whoa, that'd be awesome.
Reroll 10s.
Yes, reroll 10s, absolutely.
All right. In that case, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes.
All right. There is an explosion and a ringing sound that just, as this thing just rings like a bell and doesn't move an inch. Yeah. But it reverberates throughout the mine, the ringing noise of the explosion, because it's right there at the front of it. So I am going to temporarily deafen all of you. So Marshall, as you turn, you know, Oliver Wells puts his hand on your shoulder and
as I scream back at him, but he can't hear me.
Meanwhile, deeper in the mine, you hear a noise. Kind of like somebody ringing a bell. Maul, what do you suspect that was?
Trouble? Quick question. Have we gotten to the well yet?
Oh yeah, you've been at the well. So
what does that give me?
I've got to determine how long you got to be at the well. That's going to be a big thing for it. But
Yep.
You know what? Let's say you've recharged your glamour. You are at max glamour. Because that's what a locust is good for. You normally have to spend a certain amount of time there, but
Does it do anything for my clarity, willpower, or health at all?
No. Nope,
That's
it's just
fine. I
it's
just
just
wanted to
glamour
see.
restoration. That's all you get out of it. So
Still really good though.
yep. And this also restores the glamour for Bonnie as well. And Bonnie looks around and says, you guys are gonna be all right. Try and get the marshal out of here safely. Bull, Silk, this is an opportunity to get you away. I want to take you somewhere where the court won't find you. They're always going to keep hunting. But I think this is going to be our only chance to get out of here, because this is going to attract a lot of attention.
What about the others?
Oh, I'll let Bull know where I can meet him later, and I'll get you all together once this is over. But you know, I can't say. I mean, I've never met, you know, giant walking steel balls that shoot, you know, fire before. I've seen some strange things. That's a new one to me. We got a couple of kind of weirds here, and it looks like they got a war starting. I don't know if we want to be in the middle of this war of the weirds.
I made a promise to a young lady.
Okay, and you promised her what? Eternal youth?
That I'd help her get out of the business she's in.
You didn't like make it a formal agreement,
I
did
did.
you? Oh, Silk. Silk? Have you put on weight?
Have I?
Roll me a d10, please.
An 8.
Yes, you have.
Okay, all right. How far along am I?
You just a little bit. Put on a little
Okay.
bit there. It's enough to show.
Yeah, I have, and I'll turn sideways and show off the bump and like proudly display it.
Um, I read up the papers on you. Do we need to be concerned about this?
Depends.
You were
I
responsible for the corn children
that's what they seem to be calling them, yes.
and the lobster children.
Those two, that was that was painful to do, but that was interesting.
I'm not even going to ask if you were responsible for the land shark babies.
Oh no, that was also me. That was me as well. And the puffers.
I really should have made sure you didn't get to the East Coast. Wish I'd have caught up with you sooner.
Look, I would feel terrible leaving these people. They have helped me.
All right. Well, you know this may mean you end up going back.
Just take my boys. They'll stop. I don't think they'll keep looking once they have me. Just take my boys.
Well, you know, I've been doing Bonnie's accent pretty bad tonight, haven't I? Just realized how horrible a Bonnie I've been this evening. Sorry about that. Now, sweetheart, if you're going to stay and fight, I guess I'm going to fight with you. Bull, Jersey, go out there and help the marshal. And Silk, I don't know what you're going to be birthing back here, but and I hate to ask you to do this with your children, but
They'll make a great distraction.
yeah. And she places her hand on the wall.
You learn not to get attached.
And fades from sight.
Come on, boys, we're heading upstairs. I've still got some time before, let's go help our new friends.
All right. So you guys head back up the other way. And let's go back with Caleb and Minnie and Emilio. Let's see, where did we leave off? Minnie, I was waiting on your initiative roll.
It's 11.
11. All right. Well, hate to say it, but Princess is still at the top of the initiative order. So you hear that whining noise start to crank up, and the eye begins to glow a little bit brighter. Sounds much louder than anything that came out of that pistol. And I had the dice pulled aside, and I put them back because I was rolling other stuff. Give me just a minute. There we go. I really should set aside enough dice just for this roll, just keep them there, right? And a screeching, ear-piercing noise comes as a light breaks from the front of the spear and blasts outwards towards Emilio. It hits the ground slightly in front of him, but just the mere heat from it is enough to cause damage. And
but I'm a Scion character because Minnie is a god. So obviously I have boons and stuff like that. So
nice try. I love it. Nice try. But
Yay.
Since the blast is deflected and you're not catching the full burst of it straight onto yourself, you are going to take 1 lethal and 2 bashing. As you catch burns from this thing, and the heat is just almost overwhelming.
Oh, God.
So that's an X in the first box and a // in the next 2.
Okay. Got it. All right.
Oh,
yeah.
You've taken damage before. I forgot. Baby spiders.
I'm acquainted with getting my ass kicked. It's other than flirting with Minnie, it's the second thing I do on the show.
Yeah.
So... Yeah. So yeah, just like, oh God, fingernails burnt and everything.
So Emilio, you've got burns, but you are up. What would you like to do?
Oh man. By happen chance, did the heat, possibly in conjunction with the sand, create any sort of very hard rocks?
Amazingly, the heat seems to have dissipated across the ground. It didn't even burn any grass.
Oh, this is
or
really
any
cool.
corn. The heat transferred, basically reflected from the ground to you.
That is interesting. He's gonna put away the inquiry involving that, but it's very fascinating to him. Like it's like, huh, that is a wonder, truly. But yeah, he now that he's got its attention, he's going to serpentine, and just kind of like
serpentine.
Yeah, like hey, come hit me, like Jurassic Park, like eat me. No, wait, it's Men in Black. Yeah, Men in Black. Where he was like,
Men in
eat
Black.
me.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Minnie, you have just observed as this giant ball on legs has taken a pot shot at Emilio. And you can smell the singe from his clothing and his flesh.
Yeah, you remember that time we used hot wax? Kind of, but worse.
Oh my God, Emilio, are you all right?
Just like sweating and rolling around in the dirt and jumping. Like, just stay back, Minnie. Me and Caleb have it.
It looks like y'all got this. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to take care of it. And I'm going to use my pew pew. Where's all
You
my
hear that,
stuff?
aliens? You fucked.
Yes, right.
I'm
Yeah.
basically John Wick's puppy, and Minnie's John Wick.
So you are taking a blast at. Do you have weaponry?
Yes.
All right.
Firearms, pistols. And I
Okay,
have
so
the pistol the dude gave me.
dexterity. Well, I was asking if you have the skill of weaponry, is what I meant. I couldn't remember if you did.
Yes, I have dot in weaponry, 2 in firearms with a specialty in pistols.
All right, so dexterity, firearms, and your specialty of pistol.
I can't count. Oh shit! No, come back. 4. That's 4 successes.
All right, 4 successes.
Yes.
You aim at this thing, you fire a shot at it, and you hit square in the center of the ball.
Yes.
And you
I
hear
hit
as
the ball.
you hear as the round ricochets off. Bing!
Oh, well, shit.
Did it by happen hit where the beam came from?
It hit near it, not at. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, Minnie, the beam.
If she'd have done a crit hit
Yeah.
on that, I would a dramatic hit. I'd have
Gonna
definitely
point at
gone
it
with
when it fires on me.
I've got it. Just stay out of the way. I don't want you getting hurt again. Mr. McCarty, stand in front of him.
What?
Caleb.
A little busy right now, Miss Morrow.
Caleb, you're up.
And at this point, as Caleb yells this back at her, he is, as we speak, trying to direct his horse to sort of zigzag through the legs of this thing.
Dexterity ride, please.
All right. Now, I have a specialty in horses with animal kin, but I have the interdisciplinary specialty merit with horses.
Animal kin has to do with training and calming and
I
dealing
know.
with. So,
but with the interdisciplinary specialty merit, it should.
oh, you're
make
right.
sense.
You are correct. Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure that it would apply to ride here. It's the first time you used it.
I am not braining well. I need more brain juice. So, you are correct.
Yeah,
You can use it
Okay,
with
cool.
after this.
Wonderful. All right, so you said dexterity, ride. Okay,
Ride that pony.
and this is very
Ride that pony
very-
like a pony's never been ridden before.
This is very important, and normally I would be comfortable with this amount of dice, but considering everything that's at stake and what we're dealing with, I'm going to go back to burning the same amount of willpower I had when we started. So,
Yeah. Also,
all right.
since he's watched Star Wars, maybe a +1.
Well, unfortunately, Star Wars hasn't been invented yet.
Little
Alright,
do
y'all,
they
wish me
know
luck.
that Emilio is writing the script now that would later become the basis that which George Lucas takes.
just going for it. Sorry, we got 1, 2.
Put you right up there with Vernon Wells. Maybe a little Poe too.
4
All
out of 8
right.
dice.
You are able to navigate around on your horse and make the distance. Now, this thing is somewhat straddling the shed, but I'm going to say 2 legs are out in front of it. So you're able to get that second leg. But the span between the legs is right at 30 feet. So I'm going to say with the length of the rope we talked about earlier, you've got it lassoed to this one.
Each leg?
Between them. You know, there's a stance. Yeah. So,
oh, yeah.
Because they're like, it's a 25-foot diameter ball. The legs are segmented in 3 segments. They're 40 feet long. And so it's got a stance. You can just make it to the other side and you're able to wrap the rope around the leg.
All right. And I'll try and tie it.
All right. I'm good with that. I'm going to let you go ahead and do this on this action. So let's see how good your skills are at tying the knots. Give me a dexterity crafts, please.
Dexterity crafts.
Dexterity crafts.
And oh no, yeah, roping's only in athletics. All right, well, guys, do I spend 1 more willpower because I don't have much left?
Yes, do it. This everything's riding on this, or else we all die, Caleb. If you want us to die, then spend the willpower.
Just remember, if you can pridefully rip off someone's shirt. Oh wait, that's a different game.
Oh yeah, if you get naked, if you do this while naked.
If you hadn't gotten naked on the platter, this wouldn't have happened. I just want to point that out.
All right, 7 dice. Let's go.
All right.
See what I get out of this. 1, 2, 3. Is that a? No, that's not a. But I reroll these. So 4.
4. All right. All right. So next time when it attempts to do anything with its own dexterity against that knot, it will have to beat your 4 successes.
Okay.
If it tries to undo it in some way. Okay. Cool. All right. That's got it for the round of you guys. So when we come back next week, I'm afraid we'll be back on the turn of the princess. And for now, I'm going to go back to the mine so we can wrap up there. I'm going to say that everybody's made it back up to the top. It hasn't taken a long time for that to happen. But the ball has kind of moved a little bit. It's moved backwards further so that it's got a straighter shot down into the mine. It's almost like it moved back so it could, like if you put your eye too close, you can't see something. So it's moved back some. And as you look at it, you can almost see a glint, a shadow in it that it does. It looks like a giant eye staring in down the mine shaft at all of you. And I'm going to say it's been long enough since they were running back up to you. You've got your hearing back. Because you being deaf for a long time is not going to be real helpful to us here. Marshall, what happened?
3 sticks of what we found wasn't enough. That's what happened.
Well, darn, that's usually some pretty powerful stuff, I understand.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe we should have brought the whole box. I mean, I could have carried it.
Yeah, well,
Probably
I figured you
too,
probably couldn't hide that from Ma too easy.
Not that we need to hide nothing from you, Ma.
What are we hiding?
Nothing.
I'm like, by the way, you see me and I've just got like a pregnant belly right now.
Oh, Ma. How long do you reckon we have, Ma?
Oh, not very long, but it's okay. I'm thinking it'll be a good distraction.
Ma. All right.
What is it that you do, sir? She asks Oliver, I think his name was.
Oh, I'm a writer. I write for the paper.
Okay.
There's another educated person? What?
Do we have any? I'm trying to think. It would be much better if they exploded, right? Do we have any explosives?
If what explosive exploded? That's Mr. Wells asking you, Oliver asking you
Oh.
that.
Oh, the explosives. It would be good if explosives exploded.
Well, the marshal done tried that. It didn't do much good.
You tried what? What did you try?
Tried blasting the damn thing and it didn't do anything.
With what? With what?
What do you expect with my damn hands?
Marshal. Yeah. Sorry, Ma. It's all used up. There ain't none left.
Can I smell any?
Give me a wits in investigation.
I guess a luck die then.
Quick, summon the true fae. Just say true fae out loud really quickly 3 times. Go for it. Go.
It was a 3. I didn't succeed.
All right. Unfortunately, there's so much smell in the air at the moment. It smells a little bit like oxidized steel. And sweat. Maybe a little urine because, Bruce has been a little scared lately.
Should have
Maybe
saved
the
some for
marshal
me.
did. Some urine?
No.
Oh. Had me worried for a minute there.
Unless
Well,
that does something and I'm not sure. I don't know about.
Marshal, I don't know if we ought to stay in here with that thing staring at us.
No, I agree. Look, I'm going to try to push out here on the right-hand side of this and going to try to get its attention. I recommend that you try to get your ma out of here safe, and if you could, take the gentleman with you.
Well, Marshal, I'm going to go another route. I feel pretty good after visiting the wellspring. I think I got my strength back. And I know if I can off-balance that thing, y'all will have a pretty good chance of getting out of here. So I reckon he starts to scrape his foot on the ground like you saw before. I'm just going to get really angry and I'm going to charge it. Marshal, I need you to do me a favor.
Say the word.
I want you to twist my nose ring.
All right. Want to give it a good yank and a twist.
Give me a strength and brawl, please.
Bad idea.
And hold your successes on it, because that's going to get added to the successes of Bull here, as he does a charge.
I mount my horse, by the way.
All right. Oh, man. Did I now hate me? Okay. How many did you get? Well, you know what? That is enough for a dramatic success. So I'm going to go with it. So Bull stamps his feet and he just charges, and he actually becomes a blur for a moment. He moves so fast. And you hear this loud ringing sound, louder than the explosion made the thing ring. You hear this ring, and you see as the ball goes up, its legs up in the air as it rolls over. And Bull turns around and goes, and face plants right into the ground. But for the moment, the machine is off its axis. You have a clear path out of here if you want to go somewhere. Where would you like to go? You have one unicorn available. What would you like to do?
Can I ride over to him and pick him up on my horse?
You are not going to be strong enough to pick Bull up. He is very heavy.
What if I used my? I know it's not for its intended purpose, but can I use the vine ability? I know it's to grapple them, but could I use it to lift him?
I just grapple's different than lifting something up. I think you'd have to have help because he's a big guy. He probably weighs on order of 300, 350 pounds. He is just all muscle and big.
I say we head towards town, right? I mean, that's where Silk's gonna head.
Well,
Right.
I think I agree with you, but I don't really want to bring this thing with us. So unless we can break away from it and it's not going to follow us, I don't think that's going to be advisable.
Marshall, it doesn't look like it's paying attention at the moment.
Yeah, well, then let's get moving while the moving time is good.
Anybody got a rope? Maybe we can tie it around Bull and drag him along.
This is a mine. There should be ropes, right?
Some people had ropes. The marshal used the rope he had with him to raft the dynamite.
There must be rope around here somewhere, right? There must be.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you know what? I can take off my duster and maybe tie the arms of it together around his legs and
Mr.
have the
Wells,
two tails.
Oliver will take off his suit coat and assist as well. And you can make yourself a little makeshift loop or something that you can hook onto the pommel of the
Lasso.
horse. The horse and drag Bull along. So you won't be able to move at super speed because you're pulling the weight, but you can drag Bull. You're going to leave a nice rut behind as well.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Big question: is anybody going to flip him over? Otherwise, you're going to leave two ruts from his horns and a little ring-shaped thing in the ground.
So I will certainly make an effort to flip him over, but I'm also curious. So this thing's off balance. What exactly is this looking like?
It's kind of like kicking its legs, it's like a turtle laid on its back.
All right. So all the legs are off the ground then.
Yep.
All right.
But it's making progress, getting rotated to the side. So you've got maybe 5 to 10 minutes somewhere in there to get going.
All right. Well, after that first blast, do I have a rough idea how long this fuse lasts?
Well, that let's say 10 seconds. You got a 10-second fuse on it. You can go with that.
All right, that works. I think what I want to do is try to urge the others to get going, give them a little bit of distance, and once Silk is out of eye shot, I'm going to try to chuck these sticks back at it and keep it on its back a little bit longer, hopefully.
Okay. While you're doing that, I need Silk and the marshal to give me a wits and composure check as well. Matter of fact, let's have all players give me a wits and composure. All right.
No successes. You're welcome.
All right.
No successes and 2 1s.
Oh no. Well, this fits for you with your clarity. You have no idea absolutely of anything that's going on. All right, Caleb. Holy cow. All right. Minnie. 3. All right. Marshall, as you are getting these ready, you kind of look off and at the angle you're at, you're elevated enough, you can see out towards the first mesa. And in the distance beyond it, you see that flash of light like you first saw coming in the distance. And it lights up, and you see this thing on 3 legs as it's shooting at something on the ground. There's a pause, about 3 seconds, and then it shoots again. But when it lights up this time, you can kind of see it looks like it's struggling against something. But you can't really, at this distance, you can just kind of see the ball and the light and everything else. Caleb, from where you're at, you see the light off in the distance flash. It's not a light like you've ever seen for anything else before. You see it off towards the other side of town. You're pretty sure that's towards the mesa. But also, further south, you see something like it as well. Just the light flashing. You can't tell what it is, but it's like lightning at a distance. You can tell it's a ways away.
What's in that direction?
From your
south.
recollection, the army fort and your ranch. Your ranch here and the army fort a ways past it. So, I mean, the army's not right next to you. It's several miles to the south. Minnie, you see the flash over towards town. Emilio, you're too busy zigging and zagging.
There's like lasers shooting at me. I'm
serpentine.
busy. Yeah, I'm busy.
All right, Marshall. You're doing 3 sticks. Go ahead and roll for it, and we're going to use this to say how much time you have before it gets back on its feet. I'll add it to the 10 minutes it already had to start with.
And just to clarify, you're asking me to roll all the dice for the dynamite again. Yes.
Yep. So
All
it'll
right.
be 18 because I think it's 3 sticks again, correct? Yeah. You know I'm just trying to get 2 of these alien war machines together, right? It's my whole goal here.
Oh
So I can make a
man,
joke.
tell me they ain't magnetic. That's another 8.
All right. So that's going to give you 18 minutes before the thing's on its feet. That's how far you guys will get away. All right. And I think that's going to be it for this week. Welcome to the War of the Wyrds. Everybody take a beat for surviving. Take a beat for role play. And I think that's going to be it for tonight. Don't forget, 5 beats is experience, and experience you can use to buy skills, abilities, all sorts of stuff. So make sure you upgrade your character because, as you notice, things are getting a little intense. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for letting me run the game. Sorry we ran a little bit over tonight. We ran quite a bit over. I apologize. I have a hard time breaking in the middle of combat and stuff, and I apologize for that. So thank you, everyone who joined us. As a reminder, Squeaks in the Deep Kickstarter is going on, and there is a sale on Indie Press Revolution of Onyx Path merchandise. So get out there and get you a couple of print books and some dice and things that you're interested in. Again, on Friday, there will be a one-shot on Lawful Stupid RPG, so hope you'll join us over there. And anyone have any other announcements since I've now totally... Marshall?
Well, as always, I want to remind people that your mental health is a very serious thing. Much like brushing your teeth, it is something you should take care of on a regular basis. because if you're not maintaining it, there is a chance that you may find yourself slipping, and that can become a very, very rapid change. Um, Now, if you do happen to find yourself in a position where you're under all that pressure and you don't know what to do and everything seems to be going wrong, please reach out to your friends and family and tell them what's happening with you. They really do want to know what's happening in your life a lot more than they want to find out that something bad has happened to you. And I know sometimes it can be very difficult, at least for me. I was worried that I would be putting a burden on somebody else by telling them about my problems. But the reality of it is, you don't get to decide that. When you're going through things, people are going to recognize it. They're going to be affected by it, regardless of whether or not you want them to be. And if you do reach out to them, you might find that as it turns out, they care a lot more than you think they do about what's happening to you. Now, if you're in a situation where you can't reach out to your friends or family for whatever reason, please, there are some numbers available for you. Please call them. They also have text lines if you can't talk to somebody. They also have email addresses set up for you, and they will absolutely hear out what's going on in your life. They're not going to judge you about it. That's what they're there to do. They're also going to make sure they can identify some options you may have, because there are always options available for you. There's always something else. And if you do happen to be doing well, if you're feeling secure and everything's taken care of, check in on your friends and family. Say hello to them. You never know what they're going through, and you never know how much of a difference it can make. I know that there are probably other people, much like myself, who are unlikely to share what they are going through unless they are asked. So I'd encourage you to do that. Ask them how they're doing and what they're going through at the moment, because it might make a big difference and it might be something they let you know about. But please take care of yourselves, take care of the people who are important in your life, and please try to take care of everybody around you, because at the end of the day, we're all people, and the world's hard enough without anybody else making it any harder for you. So please have a good evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is for you. Please be healthy and safe and take care of yourselves.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next week.